The conversation ended, but your brain didn't. Hours later, you're still thinking about it. Maybe it's something they said. Maybe it's something they didn't say. Maybe it's the look on their face, the pause before they answered, the text that felt different. The conversation keeps returning, not because you enjoy thinking about it, not because you want to, because something about it feels unfinished. So you replay it. You imagine what they meant. You think of better responses. You reconstruct the conversation from different angles. And somehow, despite all that effort, nothing feels resolved. Most people call this overthinking. But overthinking isn't actually the pattern. It's the symptom. Think about what your mind does after a confusing conversation. It doesn't randomly jump between memories. It keeps returning to the same one. The same exchange, the same words, the same moment. Why? Because your brain treats uncertainty like an unsolved problem. When something feels important but doesn't make sense, your mind keeps working on it. Just like a puzzle. Just like a mystery. Just like a missing piece. The replay isn't the problem. The replay is your brain searching for something it believes it hasn't understood yet. Here's something most people never notice. You don't replay every conversation. You replay the ambiguous ones, the confusing ones, the conversations that send mixed signals, the conversations where words and actions don't seem to match. Someone says they're fine, but they seem distant. Someone says they care, but they disappear. Someone says nothing is wrong, but everything feels different. Your mind notices the contradiction, even if you can't explain it. And that's where the replay begins. Because your brain hates unresolved contradictions. It wants the pieces to fit. Most people think they're searching for the perfect explanation, but that's usually not what's happening. Your mind isn't searching for more information. It's searching for a pattern. A pattern explains more than a single event. A pattern explains why the event happened. That's why one realization can suddenly end weeks of replaying. Nothing new happened. No new evidence appeared. No new conversation took place. You simply saw the pattern. And once the pattern became visible, the uncertainty disappeared. Not because everything felt good, because everything finally made sense. This is where people often get stuck. They feel something, but they can't explain it. They know the conversation felt wrong, but they don't know why. They know something was off, but they can't put language around it. So the mind keeps returning, again and again and again, trying to transform a feeling into an explanation, trying to transform intuition into language, trying to transform a pattern into something conscious. Because once something can be articulated, it can finally be understood. Most people think the goal is to stop overthinking. It's not. The goal is to understand what the overthinking is pointing toward. The replay is often a signal that your mind has detected a pattern that hasn't fully reached awareness, something important, something recurring, something hidden beneath the surface of the conversation. And until that pattern becomes visible, your brain keeps searching. Not because it's broken, because it's trying to finish the job. The conversation ended, but your brain kept going. Not because it wanted more conflict, not because it enjoys suffering, because it sensed something important hiding underneath the words. Something that hadn't yet been articulated, something that hadn't yet become clear. And sometimes the breakthrough isn't finding a better response. The breakthrough isn't understanding what happened. It's recognizing the pattern you're standing inside. Because once the pattern becomes visible, the replay often ends on its own. GreyRockAI. Explaining the patterns you feel but can't articulate.